What's going on, everybody? Josh Engleman and Ben Rasa here for Awesemo.com, and we are back with the breakfast menu served by No House Advantage Weekend Edition. Yes, we are here for Game 3 of the NBA Finals, and we wouldn't be here without No House Advantage. But first, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you know when everything goes live. And then head on over to No House Advantage to check them out. Whether you're trying to play NBA, MLB, NFL, or PGA contests, you can do that. You don't have to worry about fantasy points. We're talking about player props. Now, you can use the promo code Awesemo when signing up. Get a $20 instant match deposit bonus on that sign up. Free money. You can't beat it. But you can beat your friends, not the house. Download the app in the App Store and win big with player props today. Thank you so much to No House Advantage for being the presenting sponsor of the breakfast menu. The breakfast menu spoiled a little bit for the UFC, but we're getting back to our wheelhouse of the NBA. I'm excited to talk Game 3. Are you?
I am. I survived UFC. For me, splitting was nice. I enjoyed it last night. That's not my favorite sport to bet, even though it's very entertaining. I'm excited to be talking Game 3. This is a good game to bet. Looking at the player props, looking at the game itself, a couple things stood out, and that's what we're going to get into right now.
Props looked really tight. As we get further and further in these series, it starts to normalize, gets a little tough. So we squeezed a little bit of edge out, I think. Would you prefer to go first or second? You have been on a bit of a heater as of late.
Yeah, I'm gonna push it to the limit, as I say frequently on these videos. I'm gonna go first. I'm just gonna try to set the tone, set the pace. Okay. Much like and this is such a probably a public mindset, but I agree with it. Much like the Bucks are going to do right out of the gate tonight. This is it. I think everybody knows. 2-0, gotta come out strong. They're at home. This reminds me a little of I believe it was Game 5. I know it was different circumstances with Atlanta, but Milwaukee, everyone wondered what they'd do without Giannis. They came out really sharp. I think we see that. The Bucks first quarter -2, -109 to win one strip of bacon. It's just that simple fact. I think that Milwaukee at times in the series has looked fine. It's just there's a lot of things that we could get into with three-point shooting, and certainly they've tried to clean up the switches. I think tonight they look good, particularly early. I think there's a very reasonable chance that Phoenix weathers a haymaker early and claws back into this game. That's why I didn't want to go with the game itself. I think it's going to be a very tight game. I think Milwaukee does punch first, does strike first. Laying 2 points, I'm comfortable with that at -109.
I like that bet. It wasn't even something that I considered, but having Milwaukee be at home, getting out of the gate pretty quick, I like the idea of that. I'm going to the player prop market. DeAndre Ayton, one strip of bacon, over 15.5 points, -108. That's the third best expected ROI bet for points props on OddsShopper, so you should check that out. I have him projected for 17.7, so I'm getting a full 2.2 points above that, basically an extra basket. I've got him playing 40 minutes. He was pretty quiet in Game 2, 4 of 10 from the field, only 10 points. I think he just gets involved a little bit more. The rebounding aspect of this game is really interesting to me, especially if they're playing more smaller guards. Someone's going to be playing a little bit more minutes. If they go to more Giannis at the 5, I really do like a rebounding or a points prop for Ayton. I think he's just going to be able to clean up some offensive glass a little bit too. So 15.5 just didn't seem like enough to me. I would have taken it another point higher than this. So I'm getting the full wiggle room of 2.2 actual points based on where I have Ayton. That's good enough for me.
Ayton's been a tricky one for me at times. He looks dominant, then he's quiet sometimes, and I don't really know why. I think it's a pretty fair line. I probably would lean over with you if I had to take a position. I did not go to Ayton. I went to a guy who's been, he's been fantastic in the series, but I do think maybe he's running a little too efficient, and that's Cam Johnson. I'm going under 1.5 3-pointers made at -130. Listen, this guy, he comes in, he stands in the corner, he gets the ball, he shoots it, he makes it. Pretty simple formula, and if he doesn't do that, he drives for a layup. The guy makes great plays. I love the way they utilize him, but they were really tight in that rotation. He played 18 minutes in Game 2. I think he could play a little more here, but he is on the road. That doesn't help, and when he's only taking 3-4 3-pointers, you got to shoot 50 or 60%, and he's been doing that. that's not going to, obviously that's going to normalize. Maybe the volume goes up, but I honestly am pegging him from the same type of volume tonight. I'm just basically living with that. If he goes 2 for 3 or 2 for 4, more power to him. And I lose this, I lose, 1.3 units. I can live with that. But I think all in all, Cam Johnson is just playing great, but nobody's this efficient. So I'm going to try to take advantage of that.
I like it. I think he comes back down to earth while he's in Milwaukee. So that's one that I'll definitely have my eye on. One more strip of bacon for me. Brook Lopez under 5.5 rebounds, even money. It's the second best expected ROI prop for rebounds on OddsShopper. I've got him projected for 4.5 in 29 minutes. Now, he is not a rebounder ever, and his minutes are hugely volatile for this game. I was surprised that I was able to get this at even money, honestly. If the minutes break low, this should cover pretty easily. Like if he's just getting played off the floor because he can't hang defensively, one, that's really not great for Milwaukee, but two, he's just not going to pull those rebounds. If they don't, he can still play 32, 33 minutes and not be involved on the boards. Like that's just, he's more of a box out guy than a get the rebound yourself guy. So worst case scenario, Lopez plays a little bit more than you were expecting, but he's still not the type of guy who, like if I bump him up to 32, 33 minutes, this would basically just be a neutral bet. And I'm willing to take my chances there because I do think there's a lot of downside in his playing time.
I love bets like that. You get double outs. Like if you break right with the minutes, you're in a huge advantage. If it breaks wrong with the minutes, you can still win the prop. It's not like you're dead. I love things like that. I always talk about that with the DFS side, like trying to parlay versus straight. Like two things have to go wrong in a way for you to lose that. And I kind of like that. On the flip side, I will say really quickly, this isn't my pick. Pat Connaughton's rebounds is something I really looked at, and that's kind of the inverse of what you just talked about. Don't mind going there. I went to a more chalky pick to round out my card, and I hate laying juice, but you know what? It's not about what the line is. It's about the chance versus the success, obviously. And to me, Khris Middleton over 4.5 assists, even at minus 160 is value. This is just a guy, he's on the floor basically the whole game. And right now, when the Bucks are at full strength, they don't have, it's not Drew Holiday distributing solely, where we saw that a little more when Giannis was out. Giannis has been chipping in. Drew's, of course, going to have some assists, but Khris Middleton also, he just has the ball so much. He's going to have ample opportunities. He's been clearing this number pretty comfortably. It's as simple as that. The reason it's minus 160 is because, again, he is certainly a favorite to go over this, but I don't think it's high enough. I could see this closing minus 180, minus 185. Just a simple fact, Middleton at home, I think the Bucks team total in general is a good bet. So basically all the overs for guys like that in these peripheral stats, I'm going to probably lean towards.
I will take every over on every Khris Middleton, everything,
I know you will.
Always, because that's my boy. So I can't say a single word there. Final bet, one strip of bacon. This one's a little surprising for me. I don't know what to make of this series at this point. I'm pretty nervous about it. I don't have a good feel for the game. Chris Paul to double-double, plus 121. So right out of the gate, I have him projected for 20.4 points and 10.1 assists. So just flat out, I think his odds of double-doubling are more than 50% just based on the way that I have him projected. I think he's going to want to have the ball in his hands a little bit more on the road in Milwaukee, control the tempo a little bit, control the crowd. If it gets out of hand, really grind it to a halt, try to quiet them down a little bit. So I think the assists are actually the easiest. I don't want to say that's not true. The points are obviously the easiest thing that you can get, but because it's assists for Chris Paul, well, like rebounds, you could just be at the mercy of bad bounces. Chris Paul is going to have the ball in his hands at all times, and he's going to dictate the pace. I don't have much of an issue thinking that he's going to get to 10 assists unless the Suns just simply aren't making shots. Same way the Bucks did for my Giannis assist prop in game 2. He had a ton of potential assists, but if no one else can make a shot, then you just don't get those assists. I think Chris Paul is going to have a massive number of potential assists in this game. I'll take my chances on whether or not they become actual assists, especially at plus 121.
I mean, that's all you can do with those. Yeah, you mentioned that. My biggest worry on something like that is I don't think the Suns, particularly the role players, the Cam Johnsons of the world that are making all those assists, I don't think they're going to shoot nearly as good of a clip. But if he has, 15, 18 opportunities, even more for potential assists, and they're generous, I'm not going to go on a rant, but I don't know if the NBA was always like that. Chris Paul, he passes to Ayton waits 20 seconds, he dribbles 10 times, and he makes a layup, and you get an assist for that these days. So you have that in your back pocket as well.
Speaking of, the Chris Paul pick and roll with Ayton is amazing for me because I get the over on Ayton's points and the assist for Chris Paul.
So you want the lobs tonight?
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Lob City and Cream City, baby. We're not done, though.
No.
We got sides to eat. It's no house advantage sides time. I feel great about the one that I've got. I'm curious where you're going because I didn't see as many like true on gimmies like we had with Bobby Portis for games 1 and Bobby Portis for game 2.
Where I went 1-1 in those gimmies, but that's neither here nor there. I'm very interested to see where you go. I did not see. It's a very difficult card on No House Advantage, which means if you can find some edges, you're not going to be, amongst a lot of people that maybe saw these. So I'm interested to see where you went.
Oh, I'm going first now?
Oh no, I have to go first. That's how it works. You can't change the order, Ben. Jay Crowder under 2.5 assists. I don't even particularly like it, but it's a situation where you just got to go by the books. The books tell the story. This line is basically a toss-up at 1.5 assists. So when you're talking about really small numbers, when you get an extra full assist, you just have to like that. So if he gets to 3, he absolutely can, but it's just, I know I have value there. I know that's the correct side, and that's what I'm going to try to take advantage of.
We did the exact same thing, not for Jay Crowder in particular, but just use the lines to dictate the moves for No House Advantage because those lines don't move. They are static. They stay put. The moment they get posted, that's what it's going to be until the end of the day. So I'm going to Giannis over 0.5 3-pointers made. I have them projected for just north of 1. The public line on this prop for 0.5 threes made is -180 to the over. So to me, that's a no-brainer. This would be a -180 bet if I were making it. I get it at even money, so to speak, at No House Advantage. Great value as far as I'm concerned.
I say it every time you bring this stupid prop up on this show. He should be 0 for 0 tonight, but most likely he will be like 1 of 8 because he can't help himself.
Not by me. One for 8 works.
No, it does not work. He needs to be 6 of 8 from 3 and just give me an outlier game, all in the first quarter preferably, and off Khris Middleton assists. Anyway, this is going to be a good one. I do selfishly hope that the Bucks make it a series, just because really enjoy doing these for the NBA. But don't worry, we've got you covered. A lot of things coming up. I'm going to give a quick plug. The British Open is next week. So for you guys that maybe aren't the biggest golf fans, this is the time to try it out. Get in for the week. We have weekly passes under $10, all the projections, ownerships, everything you need. And me and Josh will have you covered on the betting side. Some really good golf in the next week.
Cannot wait for that. It's going to be a fun week. Keep your eyes peeled for the breakfast menu tomorrow. We're going to be here. Don't worry. We're not going anywhere. Maybe a little MLB home run derby.
Did you see that swing? That was horrible. I tried to swing that. No.
You weren't hitting that out of a Little League park. No,
it was bad. It was a poor effort. Baseball, not my favorite sport.
The bets will be a better effort than that swing. So thank you so much for joining us. One last reminder, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, notification bell, all that good stuff. And thank you once again to No House Advantage. Good luck, everybody. Enjoy game 3. We'll talk to you again tomorrow morning.
I'm also starving. I'm going to have an actual breakfast after this breakfast menu.
I don't know what I'm doing at 11. Maybe Katie will want to go to brunch. Ooh, I'm going to brunches.
Yeah. Brunches? Brunch at brunches?
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds nice.
I'm for sure getting some sort of sausage, biscuits, and gravy goodness.
May just bought me a delicious bacon, egg, and cheese. It's there. I see it. I can see it with my eyes.